Okay, hey everybody, we're back and we are done sort of wiring all the A, B, C, D, E, F, and G pins of the 7-segment display. So A is wired through here, through this wire. B is wired through the brown wire. Okay, and to keep track of things, I'm using the color codes that come from the this is the decimal point pin. This one is D, and D goes through here, okay, and E goes through here, and then F is this one, so be careful with this, okay, so F goes to here, okay, and the one thing I want to do, and G goes to here, okay, and then if we want to do the decimal point, that's all good. But what we want is, let me see, where's the decimal point? Decimal point can be like up here because it's on this leg here. And we'll just go like this, come around, okay, and we just to finish the whole job here. And what I'm doing is I'm being very careful to make sure that I have my pins kind of in line, because I can use loops to run them if they're all in line. Otherwise, you'd have to do stuff to remember where all the pins are and things like this. So it's easier when you're writing loops to do it this way. The next color I have available is, after green, is yellow, and so that's kind of my wire setup. It's a little bit wiry, and we can work on ways to make it better. One thing I might do just really quickly is change this setup. Might be easier. We go this way. I'm sharing ground here, and then I'm going to take ground to the ground on the Arduino, so that their system's grounded. We'll get into it. Let's go here. And I think that should be fine. If there's trouble, we'll fix it. But that's ground wire, so it's going to be black. And that would be like the basic setup. Okay, now we want to get them to work. Okay. And the thing is, we want them to do stuff like this. We want them to show 0, right? So to show 0, I have to turn on A, B, C, D, E, and F, but not G, okay, and not the decimal point. Okay, but I still need some stuff in the code to get this to work, okay? And like they're basically working like this. See this kind of like this chart here? Okay, this is sort of a very helpful chart, because if I just turn on B and C, then 1 will go on. Now if I turn on A, B, D, E, and G, 2 will show up. And if I turn on A, B, C, D, and G, then 3 shows up. And then if I turn on B, C, in E, and F, then it looks like a 4, which is cool. Okay, and so on and so forth. You can also make some like letters in this. Okay, so you have like capital A, you get small b. Okay, you have D, E, and F, which means you could actually show something in base 16, which is sort of cool, but we're not really sort of doing that right now, but we could if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that. Okay, we're going to follow these guys right now, okay? And then we're going to look for places where we can put these number systems in. Or maybe like when you go into the dining hall, you could count how many kids come in and stuff like that. Okay, that's sort of the idea, okay? So let's see. So let's go back to Tinkercad. So we're looking for this, and we're going to look for, here, I'll put these guys down below so we can see them, hopefully. And I'm going to put them on, I'm going to go to the code in Tinkercad circuits, okay? So I'm looking for code. I'm going to maybe shrink this a little bit so I can move it over to the side and work it with the code. I don't want to use blocks, and I'm going to continue, and I got my system here, okay? So what I'd like to do is set up some variables, first off, to run the system. Or like literals actually for the pins, okay? D, E, F, G, and decimal point, okay? So those just correspond right down the line for all of these, okay? So one way, there's different ways to do this, but I might use a constant integer, so I'm doing that for A. And I'm going to make that is going to be, that's my brown pin or my gray pin, so it's going to be pin number 0, 1, 2. Okay, and then I can keep going for the rest of them, okay? 3. Okay, and then I'll stop the video and just do it. You guys, keep going, and I'll see you back in a second. You can see I've got like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I still need 9, and 9 is my data point. I kept it out of the main set of them, even though like on the segment display, it's there. Let's go decimal point, and it's going to equal 9. Okay, so that's setup stuff. Okay, and then what I really want to do is run the pin mode for all these guys too. So I can just go like this and set them up. We could do this in a loop, but I'm not going to in this particular episode of this. Okay, so I'm going to go A, B, C, D, E, F. I need a couple more. G, and decimal point. Okay, so they're all set up for output. This is sort of basic kind of stuff. Okay, and I'm going to pull up my loop right here because I'm not going to. Well, I'll leave some of this, but let's pull it out. I'm going to clean up my loop. Okay, so I have that and I have that. Now, what I want to do is I want to set up like lists for these number things here. Okay. So I want to like have a variable to, if I want to show 0, it's going to be like this, like list of numbers, okay? And I can go like this with this kind of thing. I can go int 1, int. This you do in Arduino. You go like this, and that's going to make me a list, okay? And it's going to equal, and then it's going to be the set of if this is pin number 2, like that's on. So I'm going to go through the pins, and if I need, actually this is going to be 0. So 0 is going to be A is on, okay, B is on, C is on, D, okay, C is on, D is on, okay, E is on, F is on, okay, and G is off, okay, and the data point's off. We can do that for all of them, okay. We'll keep it along. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pins, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pins. Okay, that's how this works. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make something that will like what I want to do is I want to run something like show. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to run something like maybe called like show number. Okay, and I'm going to run it for like 1, okay, or 0, something like that. So it should show 0, right? Okay. And one of the things I might do is I might set up a loop for this too, okay? So I'm going to go for int I equals 0, starting at 0, while I is less than, okay, and how many pins we have? I guess we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? So I'll go while it's less than 7, okay, so we have 7 segments, I guess. And then we'll go oh no, it's less than, we're going to go 9, man, right? Or less than or equal to 9. So it goes 0 to 9, we want that to show up. Then we go plus plus, okay? And then I'm going to go like this and make a loop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the number. Okay, I'll put it in the loop. Okay. I'm going to delay for some seconds, so maybe like 500 seconds, so it shows up for like half a second, okay? And then I'm going to have something that turns them all off, okay? So I'm going to go like all off, right? And then I'm going to delay that for, I don't know, maybe like 300 seconds, for milliseconds, okay? So that's going to be a basic loop, and I don't have these things. I need like all off written, okay? And I need show number written, okay? So let's work on writing all off, okay? Okay. So basically, all off is pretty easy. We did this before. We can use the same thing we did before. Void all off. Okay. So what we're going to do is just do a digital write for all of these values. Okay. Now the pins go from 2 to 9, right? So what we could do is we could just write a loop for that. Okay. So we could go for int. We could say I again because this is local to the thing, but we want to start it at 2, right? Right, to be like 2. While I is less than or equal to 9, okay? And then you could go plus plus I, okay? And that's what we're using a loop again, and we can go like here and just say digital write. And then the pin number is actually I, and we're going to set it to low. Okay, and that'll like kind of turn everything off. Okay, so this is a loop to turn off all the segments. Okay, so that's what's going to happen there. Okay, so all off is actually programmed now. So what happens is this loop continually runs. Okay. And then what happens is it goes and it'll keep trying to do like each number, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to show number I this time, okay? And then we have to write show number now, okay? So this will turn everything off. This will show everything, okay? So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go void show number, okay, because that's what we called it down here, okay? And then this will take an int, which is like the number, whatever n is. Okay, so n could be, this shows any number from 0 to 9. Okay, so that's what's happening here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to write a bunch of if statements. So we're going to say if n equals 0, and you have to use 2 equal signs to do equivalence. Okay. We're going to go like this, and we're going to say, let's see, show number, let's call it like display, I don't know what, we don't call it, we call it, you know, turn on 0, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to send it this list, okay? And so turn on, or you know, make number or something like that. We'll call it make num. Make num 0, okay? So 0 is something that I can use because I made this list, okay? So it's going to call up something else, okay? So we have to make a general all-purpose make number, okay? So I'm going to go void make num, okay? And then I'm going to send it an int list, okay? So I'm going to go int, I think I have to go like this. I think this will work. List like that, okay? Right? Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to write a loop here. And we're going to say for I int I equals 0 while I is less than, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we could make a variable here up here, a constant int num of segments. Okay, and that's going to be 8. Okay, so back in here we can say while I'm going to have to end this video here for a second. I'll continue, but while let's do this loop. I got like 40 seconds. While I is less than num of segs, okay? And then I'm going to say plus or I plus plus to do the loop again. Okay, this is another loop. And then basically what we're going to say is we're going to say if L of I, the item on the list, equals 1, right? Because that's what we have on there, then let me see, digital write
Okay.